Alright guys, so this is the second video of our React tutorial, and I'm going to show you how to create like a drop-down list. And before doing that, so now let's have a look at the code. What we're going to do before we start the drop-down creation. First of all, we need to delete this so that we can actually know how to start this from scratch. So we remove this and then we create a new file. It's called index.js. Right now I'm going to pause the video and type out what the component that we are required and import from which libraries. So see you in seconds. Alright, so now we come back and you can already see that I import the React from the React library. Also import the React DOM from the React DOM library, and this is the function. I call it as apps. So this is a new way to create a function. Back then we just used like the keyword function and stuff. So this is a new way we should follow. And also down here is the React DOM that I use from here. As you can see, I render this app, which is this function, and I also show it onto the screen by using this query selector and the root. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type hello and I save this by pressing Ctrl S. So you can also see that the format is changed. So this is because I use extension to do that. It's called Prettier Code Formatter. So I'm gonna show that extensions in the next video as well. So for now, just keep in mind with what I'm doing, so which is this line of code, and now go back to the browser and see what happened. So you can see when I type the return div, so this is the div tag and this is hello, so it rendered this hello and show it onto the screen, which you can see right here. So right now I'm going to create a drop-down list, and let's see when I finish typing all those. Okay, so now we have come back, and what I'm going to show you is that there are 4 websites and it's different, it's shown differently, but the main purpose of these different 4 websites is that I'm going to show you like how to use the drop down and what are the differences between these 4 websites. And now let's get into it. So this is the reactjs.org, which is the official website, and it has got like a form, but including inside this form they also contain the drop down as well. So I'm gonna show you how we actually do that. And the second one here is the React Bootstrap. So they got like a drop down too. So this is what it looks like on their website. So that means we have multiple options to choose from. It depends on what we actually decide which one to use. So this is like dropdown.menu.items and stuff. So this is what it looks like. You guys can have a look if you want to. So the next one here is the library. So it's called React Dropdown. So what it's look like, so they got something coming from the objects or while you pair. So we can actually see the example coming from here, the demo. So its drop down looks something like this. You can also see having like a separate section. And the next one here is the coming from the React Semantics.ui. It's also a quite popular library as well. So they got something like this, and this is like searching something like the countries, state, multi-select. So we can also see the code as well on the code sandbox. So you can see that I actually click on this, and after clicking this icon, it shows like a tick icon, and when I press on that, it's going to link to a new page which we can actually try out the code, and we want to make change and stuff. So we can also do that on the live website without having to install it locally. So here, as you can see, this is the sample of the code. They import Dropdown coming from the semantic UI React. So before we can actually do that, we have to install its library, but I'm not gonna show you how to do it in this video. We will get into that, like how to install the library coming from somewhere else and stuff. But for now, I'm just gonna show you something like this. This is the drop down with the icon. So for this 1, 2, 3, 4, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the drop down coming from the official website. So how are we going to do that? Now let me scroll down and see what we can actually do with that. So see where it says drop down. Alright, so here it is. It's under the select tag, create a drop down list with something like this. So I'm going to copy this, because what I'm going to show you right now is that it's a little bit different from the other tutorials, because from the other channels online tutorial, most of them are just typing without really like getting where to get that information and how to actually use it to implement on the website, on the projects. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into like a specific website and how we actually retrieve that information and implement on our own project. So this is the main goal of what I'm doing right now. So now I'm going to copy this and go back to the code editor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight this and Control C already. Now I'm pressing the Control V. What I'm going to do, I click on the Control S. So this will save and the code is already formatted automatically. So now let's get back to the browser and see what's changed. So as you can see, the code is already changing. So you can see that the select value is coconut. So by default, it will select coconut. And this is like the grapefruit, lime, mango, and coconut. So you can see this is what it looks like. And you can already see this is coming from the hard-coded data. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to loop that through the array or the object as well. So now let's continue with this. Right now we are going to use something like this, which is called the class component. What we are doing right now here is the functional component. So I'm going to explain you as well, like what the difference is between functional component or the class component. So right now I'm going to just copy this whole things. So starting from the class until the end. And what I'm going to do, we can just copy this and delete it and paste everything here. And we click on the save. But one thing to note is that here, this is the app. So we can't just use like flavor app. We have to change this back to the apps. So now when I go back to the website and see what it show here. So this is what it show. This is using the class component. And when I want to select mango, I click on the mango and click on the submit button. So what's going to happen, it will show like dialog pop-up saying that your favorite color flavor is mango. So now let's go into the code and see what it really is and how it works. So this they're using the constructor. So when you are using the constructor, and this is the prompt, and this is the state. So I'm going to explain that one by one, but for now I want to only explain what is important related to the projects, related to what we are doing right now. So the state, basically the state is to store the information. So this is the value variable. So by default, it's going to store like the coconuts, and this like the state. For the next one is the handle change. So for handle change, we can't just, you can also see that the handle change is here, and handle submit is also showing here. But what if I comment out these two? So what happened is that when I click on save, you're going to see like an error message. So you can already see that it says cannot read the property of the set state of undefined. So this is very important when you use something like in this format. You have to declare like the bind. And there's another way. If you remember just now, I create the function using the functional component, which is app with something like this, apps. So when you, let me try this out for you guys to see. So handle change event. So this is another format, and then just copy all of this. And I'm going to comment this out and comment this out as well. So when you want to comment, you press on the control and forward dash. So it looks something like this. When I click on the save button, you can see that the errors will goes away. So this is another type that you like how you want to actually do. So this is another way without having to type too many things. All right. So for this is the handle submit with the alert, and coming from here the variable that we get. So the default one is the coconut, and it's stored inside this. So when we want to actually call this variable, we have to type this dot state dot value, and this is the event default. Okay, so now let's look at the form on submit, and it's called the handle submit. It's when we actually pressing on the submit button. So this is here the label with this, the pick your favorite flavor, and the select tag, which it selects the value, whatever the value coming from the drop down. Okay, so this is the drop down value, is the hard coded coming from all of this, and this is the value as you can already see. So when we actually click on the select, we can also see a list of the data coming from here. And when we click on the on change, which we call coming from here, so it going to get something. Say I want a lime. When I click on this line, it changed here, as you can see. So the value actually changed. And when we actually pressing on the handle submit, so when we click on this button, it going to set the state. So right now the value is lime. So the value showing here is lime. And when we click on the submit button, when we click here, it's going to set the state. So when the set state, what it does, it actually set the state, the new value into this value. So when we click on that, it's going to set it into this value, and that's the reason why it show coming from here, this dot state dot value. So this is how a React app works, and next video I'm going to show something different, which going to loop that from the array or coming from the objects. So for this video, I'm going to end it right here. And again, if you guys want to have a look at different library coming from different library or websites, you can have a look here, and it's quite convenient. It just depends on how you're going to choose it, and there are many options for you to choose from. Again, for the my tutorial, I'm going to show something that coming from the website and how we are going to use that information and implement on our own projects, not really coming from the tutorial by typing stuff starting from scratch and everything. So this is a little bit different from the other tutorial. Alright, see you guys in the next video.